Knock, knock. Who's there? Another book. Another book who? Another book tag! Let's go! Well, did you miss me? Welcome back. It's Kevin Toll Reads. I am here with, a tagged video. I've taken a little bit of a hiatus from this, and now I've got a bunch of tags to do. So here we are. So this is the Spring is in the Air book tag. This was created, I believe, by Daniela at Uncommon Reader. I was tagged by Brian at Adventures in Literature, and he was tagged by Reney at Beyond Books. I couldn't help but do this. Reney and Brian both have great channels. You definitely should check them out. I will link their videos below. And so this Spring is in the Air book tag is a spring-related tag, and there's different themes and questions, and we're going to dive right into this thing. And then I'm going to tag some people because I know they're excited because I have been away from doing book tags for a few weeks. So let's dive right in. First question is Spring Chicks. Name a book that made you feel warm and fuzzy. I'm going to go with book number 2 in the Cain and Abel trilogy by Jeffrey Archer, The Prodigal Daughter. This is a retrospective look back at the beginning of the book where it talks about Cain and Abel looking back on their children and their kind of hate towards each other and how they try to corrupt each other and their business practices, but yet they're looking back now later in life realizing that at the end of the day, it's all about your children and what you pass on. And I thought that was a really interesting way, and it made me warm and fuzzy just being a parent and having some similar feels to that. And so that's my choice for that. The next question is April Showers or Spring Showers, a book that is set near, in, or on water, or a book that has the word water in the title. I went with The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, book number 1, The Dandelion Dynasty. I recently completed this 4-book epic fantasy series, and it is the island of Dara in this fictional world, and it's obviously an island surrounded by water, so I chose it. The third question is Spring Break. Talk about a time you took a break from reading and why. I have had several since I got married where I took breaks regarding, personal life and children and whatnot, and I kick myself looking back reflectively because I now don't have enough time in the day to read all of the great stuff that's out there and that I continue to uncover. So if I could have some of those brief hiatuses, some for 6 months or a year, a couple for like over 2 years, I would definitely take all those back in a heartbeat and fill them with lots of books. But it is what it is. I'm enjoying reading. But those are my breaks. The next question is Swallow's Homecoming, a book or an author you always go back to for comfort. And I have two. Grisham and Michael Crichton I go back to for comfort quite a bit. I like both of their writings. I read both of these authors early in my reading career, and I always go back to them for comfort. I like both of them. I think they write good books to great books most of the time, and I enjoy them for what they are, and they're my comfort. The next question is Blooms, a book that started slowly but blossomed into one of your favorite reads. And that probably is hands down Lonesome Dove. I would give you a representation, but my mom has my copy of the book, and hopefully she's reading it, enjoying it as much as I did. But that book started a little slow for me when we did our buddy read earlier this year. But once you get past, I think it was about page 100, it just really started to open up. And then it continued to get better and better as the story progressed. You get more ingratiated with the characters and their plights and all the conflicts. And it's a great book. I recently gave it a upgraded rating. I originally rated it a 4.75 out of 5, and recently in reflectively looking back and the book staying with me, I've upgraded my rating to a 4.9. It's just a fantastic book. The next question is Eggs in a Blanket. 3 books you want to read this spring. The Devils by Joe Abercrombie and his new book. I definitely want to read that. The Pusher It's a book in the 87th Precinct series by Ed McBain. And I want to read The Trail of the Burned Man by our local booktuber connoisseur, Thomas McNulty. And this is a part of a series. I'm eagerly looking forward to reading this. And so this probably be one of the first ones I read of the three, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. The next question is Green Pastures, a classic that never gets old. I have two, Conan and Sherlock. I consider them both classics. I don't think these ever get old. I've really enjoyed the last year reading these kind of episodically and doing different reviews, and I haven't read them in several weeks, and I've been missing them. And so be on the lookout. More to come on these, but these are definitely classics that never get old for me. The next question is Pollen, a book or author you're allergic to. I would say Babel by R.F. Kuang. I don't like her writing style. I liked the book initially when I started reading it, but then I DNF'd it after about 200 pages. I don't understand what everyone's hype is about that book. But yeah, not for me. And the other one is Terry Pratchett. I enjoyed his collaboration with Neil Gaiman on Good Omens, but when I tried to read a couple different books in the Discworld series, the most recent one being Guards, I find his humor to be kind of over the top and kind of forced to the point where it just doesn't connect with me. And humor is very individualistic, and so for some people, I know they endear that series, and I can understand why, but for me, it's just a miss for me. So yeah, I'm pretty allergic to both of those authors. And then bonus is Equinox. Find two books on your shelves that have the exact same number of pages and briefly talk about them. I have two in the Sackett series, and they're not exactly the same. This one is 184 pages. One is 184.5 pages, so they're off by half a page. But Sackett's Land and Ride the River, two iconic characters. You have Barnabas Sackett, Echo Sackett. I really enjoy the Sackett series thus far. I am just finished book 14 of 17, and which was Galloway. I'm enjoying this series a lot. I have some really interesting characters I've met along the way within the Sackett genealogy. Echo Sackett, Barnabas, Tell Sackett, Lando. There's a lot of Oren, Tyrell. There's a lot to enjoy, and I'm really enjoying these books quite a lot. And so that is the questions. Now it's time to tag some other people. And so the following people, you've all been tagged in this, and that would be Nicole's Bookish Nook, Booked Panda, Steve Donahue, Jenny Jables, Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, Bookless Pete, Book Buds, Book Lady Linda, Sandaline, Genre Books, Jess Book Girl TV, Kelly Reads a Lot, and Rainer Reads Stuff. There was one more. Shoot. Who was it? Oh, Novel Insights. You've all been tagged in The Spring is in the Air book tag. Thanks again to Brian at Adventures in Literature and Renee at Beyond Books for tagging Brian, and then Brian tagging me. And thanks again to Daniela at Uncommon Reader, who I believe is the creator of this tag. And I hope you all have a great spring, a great week, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks.